Hello, everyone. My name is Louis Scicli, and I want to welcome you to the show. Our show will cover local news, local events, and politics. Please look for news shows every week on our website and Facebook page. We want to thank everyone for your ongoing support, and we hope you enjoy the show. Hello, everyone. We're back. Back in the studio. Shawn Phillips is with me this morning. Good morning, Shawn.
Good morning, everyone.
And we had a pretty good, this morning we met before we were doing this podcast. We meet all the time early and talk about what we're going to talk about on the podcast. And we went to IHOP this morning for breakfast.
Yeah.
Which was awesome, by the way. I love
What'd you
IHOP.
have?
I had the sample platter, which is actually too much food. And I kind of feel it a little bit right now, but I know yours was awesome because I've had it before.
I went a little lighter with the strawberry cream and crepe. So
I think yours probably still had more calories than mine did.
it actually didn't. I was actually
how many calories?
700.
No, come on.
Only 700. So I actually read that.
I would have never guessed that.
Yeah.
It to me looked like a 15 or 2,000 calorie deal there.
So I left the bacon and sausage alone, which is very hard to do because I love bacon.
Oh, does that come with it normally, or no? It's separate. Okay, Gotcha. But now we had a good meal, and we talked a little bit about what we're going to talk about on the show. But it was pretty cool because when we were leaving to get in the cars to come to the studio, this guy gets out of his car and goes, "Hey, Louis!" And I looked up, and I didn't know who he was, and I didn't know if I'd met him before or not because I was campaigning a while back. I met a lot of people, and I thought maybe it was from that. And then the lady, his wife or girlfriend, got out of the car, and she's like, "Hey, Louis." And then they started telling us, "Oh, we listen to your podcast and we do your treasure hunt and we listen to you guys and we love the show and y'all guys tell all the truth and information." I listened to it. And then Shawn was next to me and I said, "This is Shawn." She was like, "Hey, Shawn, how are you?" And it was pretty cool, actually, for people that actually listen to the show that know who we are and we're out and around, and we like that.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for listening. And then Shawn had mentioned to the lady and the man, he says, "Is there anything you guys want us to talk about on the show?" Because we try to include everybody in the show. If it's something we can put on there, we'll put it on there. And they came up with a few things. What were the stuff? What was a couple items?
Well, one we went ahead and we're going to talk about today, which is the violence around Lynchburg that has been increasing. And so we'll talk about that later on.
Yeah.
And if we do see any of you all out there, one thing we did, because we were shocked, actually, we apologize. We really needed to get your names, and
we should have.
And find out who you were, and it's good to have friends out there.
Yeah, but you all know who you are because I did tell them both. I said, "Be listening because we're going to meet you on the podcast today." And this lady was all bubbly and excited, and both of them were.
Made us feel
it's
good.
Cool, yeah, because I've had a few times where people didn't like what I said on the podcast and voiced their opinions to me, which is fine too, because I try to keep it neutral and not be negative, and sometimes it's hard.
Yeah.
But no, they were very upbeat, positive, and good people, and we really appreciate it. And hopefully you'll share this podcast on your Facebook and tell everybody it's about you, because it really is about you. That's why we love this stuff. So,
and for those who don't always agree with what we say, that's a good thing. It's a good thing to come together, disagree about stuff, be able to converse about it, maybe argue a bit, but come away from it as friends still.
Yeah, and most definitely.
We're not all going to agree on everything, but we definitely want to, be friendly.
And at least I admit when I go off on tangents.
Sure.
A lot of people don't. I admit when I go off on a tangent on a few things really bug me. So, and today I told Shawn at the beginning, it's going to be positive today, Shawn. I'm not going to say anything negative, which I'm not. I'm going to keep it all positive because really we don't have anything negative to talk about this week. Everything is really positive.
It is.
I got all that stuff out last podcast we did.
That's right.
Most of it, at least. I'm holding back some, but I'll save that for another rainy day because today it is raining, actually. So,
yep. So you'll need a jacket, but the temperature is going to be 68. We said
which
we
ain't
weren't
bad.
Talk about weather, but hey, if you're listening and you're about to go out the door, that might be helpful.
Yes, and we got some stuff planned for today too. Shawn and we try to plan things almost every weekend, and sometimes we can get to it, and sometimes we can't. But today we're actually going to go to the museum downtown, Lynchburg Museum.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's on Court Street.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about it for a while, and we actually mention it just about each time because they've got a lot going on, it seems like. And so we're going to go down there, talk to them, maybe meet them.
Yeah.
And let them know we're out here talking about them.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that it's fun to do in Lynchburg, and that's the key thing.
And it's free.
And it's free.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that. We got to check on that because I could have sworn last time I went, there was a fee, but it was something small, like $2 or $3.
So
but maybe free.
Back on that.
Yeah, maybe free, maybe not. I don't know. But whatever it was worth it because there was a lot of cool stuff in there. Yeah. So I'm excited to go back because it's been many years since I've been in there. Probably changed it around a lot. It's probably been like 5 years, 6 years since maybe 5 years since I've been there. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
So yep, after this podcast, that's what we're doing. We're heading down there to the museum.
So
what events? Do we events? Yep.
All right. So today, it's actually going on right now, and I know several people that work at Amazement Square. So Amazement Square at 8:30 started a children's holiday festival. They were serving pancakes, and they're probably past that right now or getting close to ending. But they have a lot of stuff going on today, and you can look at the lynchburgvirginia.org/events webpage, and it has that event on it. But you want to make plans to get down there real quick because it's just for a few hours today.
And the problem we may have on that is our podcast. We're not doing them live. We're going to start doing them live, I think, pretty soon because it makes more sense. We just had to get a good feel for this thing before we started going live. And making sure I could not say a curse word during the podcast. I've done pretty good so far, so I think I can do it. And that's why we haven't went live because my mouth sometimes will say throw out some bombs, and I don't want to do that. And I think I've done pretty good though. I watch what I say to a degree, but by the time this thing uploads today onto the server, I should say.
Oh, that's right.
It's going to be over because right now we're looking at 9:22 a.m. on Saturday.
So forget the Amazement Square.
Yeah. Hey, have you seen this video? It's already the Amazement Square thing's over. It's just a couple hours for it to upload, but we apologize.
All right. So celebration of lights at Rivermont.
Yeah.
That of course today is Saturday.
Yep.
And
so you can still get to this one.
Farmers markets and stuff like that are going on. Somebody might be able to see this, but this looks real interesting. Masters of Soul, Christmas in Motown. It's at the Academy Center of Arts. That's tonight. And then just a lot of the other stuff locally. Rivermont Beer House has a live performer there. $3 at the Three Roads. And open mic night coming up at Rivermont Beer House. Acrylic afternoons, we've talked about.
Where's the beer house at? I'm just trying to think. We've never been there, have we?
It's I believe it's right there around TC Trotters where that used to be.
Oh, okay,
kind of ages ourselves because TC Trotters has been gone for a long time. But
right around Cavalier where we eat, the restaurant, right?
Yeah, just on the other side of Randolph University.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
So, in fact, that's a pizza place, Rivermont Pizza, which is still there on the lower half of that building.
Okay, yeah.
That's a place we need to go back to sometime. I don't think we've actually been there.
Nope.
But yeah.
I used to go to TC Trotters back in the day, though, right there on the side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Actually, I'll tell you a quick story about that. That was back when I was young and I was kind of didn't care. I drank a few beers in there. And did I tell you about this story? Nope. So I come outside. My friends go out first, and I'm the last one to come out because I was probably paying. Not all the time, but I was probably paying that time. But anyway, I came out, and I tripped on the sidewalk. Like, not fell down, tripped. I just hit my foot on it, and I kind of wobbled a little bit and got my composure back and started walking. And there was a police officer parked outside. I said, "Hey, come here." I was like, uh-oh. So I walk up to the car, and he's in the car. He says, "You been drinking?" And, I was a kid. I didn't know better. I was like, obviously, I just left the bar and thinking he couldn't do nothing to me because this is before I was a police officer and found out the laws. Didn't know about drunk in public. But he says to me, he goes, "Well, you can't even walk." And I said, "Well," he goes, how much did you drink?" I said, "I don't know." He goes, "You drink so much you don't know?" I said, "Pretty much." And I probably drank 5-6 beers, which was plenty for me because I was a small, younger, skinnier kid. Well, I guess I was old enough to drink because I was in there. But then he started saying, "Well, you're drunk right now and you're in public. I could arrest you." And I looked at him and I remember telling him, I said, "No, you can't. I'm not driving." And he looks at me, he starts smiling, he goes, "Don't drive or I will pull you over." And I left. And for many years, I didn't realize that you can get drunk in public. Right. And I was sitting there making comments. He could have really arrested me. Yeah. So you live and you learn.
Good thing you did back talking.
No, I know, man. No, I wouldn't do that anyway. I had respect for police. I really do.
Yeah.
Unless they're just bad cops. If they're bad cops, I don't have respect for bad cops.
Yep.
I'm not going into a different direction.
All right.
You almost have me hooked there for a second. Now we're going to go off onto that one, but that's for another podcast because that's one thing I can't stand is a crooked, dirty cop.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll move on from there.
So we're going to try to insert some jokes that we've talked about in the past.
All right. Yeah. You got one?
Well, I've got two that I pulled up, and this one I'm going to make just a little jab at Biden. So if Biden was into making perfume, this would apply to him. So why couldn't anyone understand the retired perfume maker?
Don't have a clue.
Because he no longer made sense.
Okay.
It's terrible. All right, so you've got one.
I got one, but mine's one that someone told me a long, long time ago, and I remembered it because I thought it was pretty funny. It's not that quick, but I'm going to tell it pretty fast. Okay, so this man's at home watching TV, and he sees a news flash pops up on the screen. It says, hey, there's a loose gorilla in the neighborhood. If you see it, don't approach it. It's dangerous. It's deadly. Just stay away from it. And he looks out his backyard window, and he sees his backyard. This gorilla runs up the tree in the backyard. So he freaks out, goes back, looks at the TV, and they have a phone number on there for you to call for someone come out to get this thing. So he calls the number and goes, hey, that gorilla just ran up my tree, man. I don't know what to do. And he says, stay inside. Don't go near it. It's dangerous. It'll kill you. So the guy goes, I'm on my way. So the guy pulls up in the yard in the van. Little short man jumps out of the van. He pulls out this long stick. He pulls out a set of handcuffs, and he pulls out a gun, and then he goes around to the back of the van. He opens up the back of the van. And this mean-ass dog jumps out the back. And this dog ran up to the bottom of that tree and had foam coming out of his mouth looking up at this gorilla. So I go out, this man walks outside and walks up to him and says, what do I do? He goes, here's what I want you to do. He goes, I'm going to climb this tree with this stick, and I'm going to leave these handcuffs with you, and I'm going to leave this gun with you. I'm going to climb up this tree, I'm going to poke that gorilla right between the eyes, and when that thing falls out of the tree and hits the ground, that dog is trained to bite him right in the private parts. And when he bites him in the private parts, he's going to bend over like this, and you handcuff him. And the man goes, man, are you sure this is safe? He goes, I've done it before. I know it'll work. Just be safe and just do what I tell you. So this guy grabs a pole and he starts shimmying up this tree. And he's up there and he's almost on the limb where the gorilla is. And he's getting ready to poke this thing in between the eyes and knock him out of the tree. And man on the ground says, hey, he goes, you didn't tell me what the gun was for. And he leans down, yells at the man. He goes, that's in case I fall out of the tree. You shoot that damn dog. That was my joke.
That's good.
That's pretty good, right?
Yep.
All right.
So,
I know it was a long joke, but maybe someone will laugh about it today. Either that, they're going to say, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
And then
I thought it was pretty funny.
I've got one for our pot smoking friends out there.
Okay. So this probably relates to a lot of people then, right?
Well, maybe. But
they come to my shop.
Yeah.
That's another podcast. All right, go ahead.
Did you hear about the town that legalized pot but banned alcohol?
No.
All the residents were left high and dry.
That's pretty good. All right. Well, those are jokes for the day. Hopefully someone got a good laugh out of them.
Yeah.
Or cut us off. We just lost all of our listeners. We went from 1,000 to 3. What happened? Those are damn jokes. All right. What else we got, Shawn?
All right. So the folks that we had seen at IHOP.
I'm gonna get a mic for Shawn, a lavalier mic.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. So,
sorry.
Little history.
All right.
Lewis and I, different years between us, but we both were at Glass. And so Glass is near and dear to our hearts. Lynchburg is near and dear to our hearts because this is our home. We love Lynchburg and the surrounding areas. So the gentleman and lady that we talked to at the IHOP, she said, why don't y'all talk about the violence that's going on around Lynchburg? And so that was actually something I was driving in this morning thinking about because I have a couple of friends, even family members that are at Glass, and being that is my high school alma mater, that I'm concerned about it because there's shootings in and around the area of EC Glass. This one yesterday actually happened at Tate Springs Road, which is just down from Glass, and I had talked to somebody there at Glass. I was going to drop by to pass them something, and they said, don't come by. The school's on lockdown. And this has happened 2 or 3 times over the last 2 or 3 weeks. And so that's the
it's getting really bad.
The
man.
Darrington area, the Miller Park area, up to Ford Avenue, and then down through 5th Street. And yeah, we've seen an increase in violence down there. And in the position that we're in, the only thing we can say is, folks, and we don't know who's listening to us, but folks, number one, be kind. Treat other people the way you want to be treated. And that may be, a naive statement, but we've got to keep calm.
Now's not the time for us to fight each other, anybody.
Sure.
Because this world is turning bad a lot.
And I'm a big gun advocate.
Same.
But when they're used criminally or illegally or used in a manner violently that is illegal, then things need to happen to calm it down.
Yeah.
So,
and it's getting worse and worse, it seems. And here's my thing. What are the chances of those gunshots being fired coming from a law-abiding citizen with a gun permit? Do you think that's the case, or do you think it's someone that's a criminal or has a violent background that doesn't have a license to own a gun? It's probably not registered to them. Where do you think these shots are coming from? I would assume probably that they're coming from people that probably shouldn't even have guns or own guns.
Being used illegally.
Because I know one thing. I own a gun. I own lots of guns, and I have a permit, and I carry concealed. If I fire that thing, the first thing I'm going to be doing is calling the police and telling them why I fired it, because it obviously had to be because my life was in danger. That's the only reason I would fire it.
Right.
So when you start hearing gunshots in the streets, those people don't care about the law. They probably shouldn't even have the gun. And that brings me back to, I know people's rights. I'm a big rights person. Your rights. But being in law enforcement, I honestly think there should be, and I'm not saying pat down everybody and profile people, and you might know where I'm going with this, but if you're hanging out in an area that gunshots are being fired at nighttime, and you're out there to some weird hour, nothing going on but you, they need to start searching some of these people to see what's going on. Like, patting them down. What are you out here at 3 a.m. for? No one else is out here. I'm going to pat you down and make sure you don't have any weapons, or you might be the guy we're looking for. We don't know. And I don't care what color you are. You could be purple, white, black, green. You're out there in an odd hour. Nothing else is going on. If I was a police officer, I'm patting you down. I'm going to call for backup first. And I'm going to stop you and question you. And that's what their job is to protect us from people. And if it's you that are doing this stuff, we want to be protected from people like you. They're out shooting people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So maybe the police need to do that. Start just going there and see if they see strange activities. I don't want to hear anybody call them, oh, they're just going to pick on certain races. No, all races. If you're white, black, green, I don't care. They're going to come up to every single human being. It don't matter about colors.
Right.
So stop all that. We want to be protected. I want to be protected from white people, black people, Indian people, Spanish people, if they're out to do me harm.
Right.
Or harm someone else. I want to be protected. I don't care about that. So my point is, they need to put police in that, make it a big presence out in that area, and really start stopping cars in that area driving by for no reason at 3 a.m. And ask questions and search things, because that's the only way we're going to be protected.
Right.
You got all these people out there, well, they're only pulling me over because I'm white, or they're only pulling me over because I'm black. No, they're pulling you over because you're doing something suspicious.
Suspicious, yeah.
That's why they're pulling you over. And yes, they can search your car. And yes, they can pat you down. Believe me, and if you're not a crook criminal or murderer or someone out shooting people, you shouldn't have a problem with it. I wouldn't. If they pulled me over, hey, can we search your car? Now, if it's during the day, I'd be like, why, man? You're holding me up. I got to go to work or whatever, because I'm a law-abiding citizen. I got nothing to hide. But obviously, search my car. I don't care. I'm not doing anything, because I'm not going to be out doing anything. Yeah. So the ones that have a problem with it are usually the ones that are doing a lot of crazy things.
And I'm going to add community
That wasn't a
policing.
tangent, by the way. It was just
that was
a comment.
perfect. And I'm going to add to it community policing, which the police officers have talked about, having the police in the communities.
Yes.
Knowing who's there, knowing who's in there, and becoming actually friends, having relationships with those people. That's an important part of policing, and I think our police do that to some extent. This defund police movement that's happened across the country.
Please stop that. Stop it.
Yeah,
Move to an island. If you want to defund the police, move to an island where you don't have any police, and then let each one of you kill each other off on the island, because we don't care at that point. If you want to defund the police and don't want protection, I want my protection. Don't take away my protection because you're stupid. I shouldn't say the word stupid. and think that by defunding the police that things are going to get better. They're not going to get better. Right. Are you kidding me? Go to an island, move to Alaska in the woods somewhere. Don't take away my protection because you think a certain way. I want the police. I want to call somebody when my house has been broken into, or when someone pulls a gun or knife on me or tries to rob. I want my police. Don't take that from me. Right. Go to an island, you idiot. Yep. Sorry, that's just my thought.
And Lynchburg's doing the opposite, so that's where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
So,
and again, let me just throw this out there. There's good and bad in every profession. I'm not saying that all police officers are spot on good police officers, because they're not. There's good and bad in everybody. You got good cops.
No, go ahead.
You got bad cops, okay? In every profession, you got good and bad. It's not that one cop, if he's bad, that you can sit there and go, the whole department's corrupt, the whole department's racist, the whole department's bad. No, they're not. That one cop is. So you know what you do? You get him out of there, and you bring on someone else that's a good cop, a good law-abiding, doing the right thing, in it for the right reasons, and a non-racist, and all the good things that a cop is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Don't blame them all for one idiot police officer out of all the department, 1 or 2 or 3, even 10. If you got a department of 500, yeah, you might have 10 bad ones. Weed them out, get some new ones in, and move on and protect us.
Right.
We're paying it for it. I want protection, period. Stop that whole defund the police crap. Are you serious? What is wrong with people?
Yeah. And I want our police to feel protected as well.
Absolutely. Start respecting them too.
Yeah. Yep.
Here's another thing. Let me just tell you this, and I'll throw, I knew I was going to get into a tangent. You stirred me up on something. I'm sorry.
No,
Here's the thing. If you don't want to be harassed, beat on, feel like your rights are violated, there's a simple word. It's called comply, period. If a cop comes up to the car and says, step out of the car, don't go, why? Why am I getting out of the car? I don't need to get out of the car. Do what they tell you to do, and if you got a problem with it later, and you think your rights have been violated and they've done something wrong, call an attorney and sue them. Do it the right way in court. Don't just say, I'm not doing what you tell me to do because I don't have to, and I'm not getting out of the car. No, I'm not showing you my hands, and no, I'm not putting down my phone, and no, I'm not letting you look in here. No.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Sir. No, sir. You know what? If you comply, you're not going to get shot. You're not going to get tased. You're not going to get pepper sprayed. You're not going to get beat with an asp, a baton, or whether
these carried off with the handcuffs.
No, comply, man. It's the first thing. Don't sit there and go, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to sue the hell out of you. No, don't say nothing. Just do what they tell you.
Yes, sir.
And yes, sir, no, sir. And then when you get back in your car and they let you go, call your attorney. Hey, here's what just happened to me. I want to come talk to you. And if you feel like you get a case, do that. Okay, then you know. But by not complying, and people are so crazy by not complying, they think they can fight the system. They're going to buck the system. They're going to be the next star on YouTube showing how they told the police to screw off. I'm not doing what you told me, and you disrespect them. You're going to get hurt. You're going to get tased. You might get shot or stabbed. I don't know. Something might happen to you. Comply, and nothing's going to happen to you. I promise you. Nothing. Don't fight them. Don't sit there and resist. If they told me to get out of the car and they say I got to put handcuffs, all right, do what you got to do, man. I got people around me watching anyway, but do what you got to do. Sit here. I'm going to sit there. I'm not going to talk back. I'm not going to throw words at them, cuss them out, talk like trash to them. Don't do that, man. You're only hurting yourself. You're not hurting us or anybody else. You're definitely not hurting the police, because then they're going to charge you with everything they can charge you with. Right. You get more with honey than you do vinegar, period. I've heard that when I was a kid, and it's true. And if you think you were done wrong, you sue them. That's what the courts and the laws and everything's about. You sue them then if you think you're wrong. Comply. Please, everybody, please, just comply. And I guarantee all the craziness that's going on in this world, if they just complied and respected them, give them the respect and move on with your life. Half the stuff that goes on, these people getting shot, accidentally tased, accidentally pepper sprayed or hit, it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. Yeah. Okay, so
in fact, I'm going to say one thing. Just
this was a tangent.
Well, that's okay. I didn't really even think about this until I heard it. I guess it was on the Glenn Beck show when I was listening to him once long ago. But something as simple as this: when you get pulled over, the first thing you do is put your hands up on your steering wheel like this, so the officer can see that.
Dude, you know what I do?
Roll down your window, put your hands on your steering wheel, and so they know that you are already in
you know, the first thing I do,
manner.
before they get to my door, because I've gotten pulled over after I was a police officer, I'd have my driver's license in my hand, my concealed weapon permit in my hand, both of them on the steering wheel,
Right.
and when they ask it for me, I hand it to them, and I say, I have a concealed weapon, it's on me right now, and I tell them where it is. I'm not going to tell all you where I carry it, but it's on me. Ain't no weird places, but it's on me. And I'll tell them where it's at. And you know what they usually say? Okay, just don't take it out. Don't, just stay right there and I'll be right back. 9 times out of 10, they're going to hand it back to you, say, thanks for telling me you have the weapon.
Absolutely.
You're all checked out. Have a nice day. But when you start getting all stupid, and I say stupid because it is, when the police walks up and you're already starting, what are you pulling me over for?
Right.
You pulled me over because I'm white. Are you pulling me over because I'm Spanish? Or are you pulling me over because I'm black? No. Don't do that. That's going to get you in trouble, and it's not going to help nobody,
right?
Because you're going to end up going to jail, getting charges, or getting hurt again.
Right.
This is stupid. Stop doing it. Comply. Comply.
It'll take what could be a 15-minute stop down to 2 minutes or maybe 5 minutes. But again, the first thing you do, you roll your window down, hands on the steering wheel so the officer can see it. And
you know another thing I was thinking about? All these people out here saying, man, I wish I could hit the lottery. You know what? Comply on everything they tell you. And if they're wrong and you know they're wrong and you get an attorney, you just hit the lottery. Guess what? You know what I mean? But if you get all stupid and start cussing at them and screaming and yelling, and then you try to go to get an attorney and tell them what happened, they're not going to take your case. They're going to say you're in the wrong. You want to get rich, everybody? Here's a way to. No, I don't know if I should. All right, we'll move on. Do the right thing, and the right thing will happen. That's all I got to tell you.
Yep. Treat others the way you want to be treated. You know, that's. I was
going to tell them bad to get rich.
We used to call it the golden rule. I don't know if they still say that, but treat others the way you want to be treated. If you were a police officer, how would you want that person in that car that you just pulled over to react? You want them to make it, very easy so you can get on with your day and do something else. So I wanted to mention Lynchburg's doing the opposite of defund. They announced the 10th, which was yesterday, that they are going to be paying starting police officers a much higher amount of money than pretty much anywhere else in Central Virginia. I think I heard the amount of $50,000.
Yeah, that's a pretty good chunk.
That is a pretty starting out. So
only thing that scares me though, it's going to pull police officers from other areas like hopefully not my area, but we need our officers. But that's you know what, it is what it is. What happened here? Did I do something? Okay, good. They need to make more money, man.
And to those who are listening, this is where I wanted to move towards. $50,000 is a good amount of money for anybody. Yeah. And we have a friend who is a sheriff, and I asked him about a couple of things as far as getting other folks into the police force and the sheriff's department and people of color. Yeah. Black,
everyone,
Indian,
man.
Asian, everybody.
Diversity. We need diversity everywhere.
And I just want to encourage any of our listeners out there, pass this on.
Yes.
Tell them Lynchburg is hiring. They have an academy. Send people they'll come out making good money.
Yes, they will.
And let's get some of these young men and young women who are conscientious, who are just great, outstanding individuals, and move them into these positions.
Yes.
We need that. We need Hispanic police officers.
Everyone.
So that they can talk with the Hispanic community. Yep. We even need Koreans. We have a pretty large Korean population in Lynchburg.
But I am big on one thing. Hire the people that are qualified for the job, not because of nationality.
No, absolutely.
Or race. I'm not into that. And the thing is, in that way you can you get people that are qualified, because it drives me insane when someone says we have to have this many Spanish people, we have to have this many white people, this many black people, this many Koreans. No, you have to have qualified people.
Right.
If they happen to be Spanish and Korean, great, that's all the better.
Right.
But they still got to be qualified.
Yes.
Don't start putting a bunch of people in there just to fill in these gaps with different races and put me and my family and my friends at risk, because these guys are definitely not up to the bar where you got to be. You know,
and we're talking across the board.
Across
you
the
just
board,
don't
man.
fill any position like that with people who are just not qualified or cut out to do it. Of course, that's why they have the academy to do that. To weed
and you go
people
through
out.
a lot to get into that academy, because I know when I went in, polygraph you had to take, psychological evaluation to make sure you're all
Health
together.
evaluation.
Yeah, everything, man. You got to go through a lot. Written test, agility. You got a lot of different tests you got to do.
And I believe Lynchburg has their own academy.
And they got it pretty much the same. So, and let me just tell you, if you already got a lot of issues that you know are issues, you know, if you got psychological issues maybe, or had issues, and no, don't go, because you just, they're going to find out, man. Because let me tell you, I took that test and the polygraph, and it's pretty invasive. The polygraph itself, they'll weed you out real quick, and that thing works, I can assure you. Because they ask you questions and they set that thing up and then know if you're lying point blank. And a lot of times I told the truth and they were shocked that I even admitted to certain things. And I was like, well, the thing's going to tell you anyway.
Right.
You know, they asked me how many times I smoked marijuana. I said, I don't know, once, twice. Was it recreational? I said, I guess. How many times did you do it? I said, I don't know. Maybe 1 or 2 times, maybe 50.
Remember.
I don't remember. And the guy said, you know, you're actually really honest. And I said, well, that thing's going to tell you if I'm not anyway. Why waste my time? But because I was honest, a lot of things I honestly think about as just lied, and they would have failed me out of it.
Right.
Yeah. But be truthful, you know. And the only reason I'm getting on that is, you know what you've done, and they do a background on you. If you've done some crazy things and a lot of different things, and don't go and tie it up, because not saying you're a bad person, you may have outgrown that, but they're going to ask those questions.
So we want to encourage people to go out. And if you have even a thought of being a law enforcement officer, now is a good time to get in.
Most definitely.
We definitely need people.
Especially for that kind of money, man.
So the violence has been increasing in Lynchburg, and we want it to get back to diminishing.
We don't want our town going south bad. We don't want
people getting shot randomly from some stray bullet like happened not too long ago with that child. And
I can tell these guys that are out doing all these shootings and this craziness, you're going to get caught. Most definitely you're going to get caught sooner or later anyway, okay? And people, don't go to these places late at night and go hang around places that there's that kind of violence until it gets control over. I don't want everybody staying at home every day, but honestly, if you're out 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning in an area where there's gunshots at night, why are you out there?
And I don't want to go to food line, or 7-Eleven. I love 7-Eleven coffee down there on Fort Avenue.
And now you're going to worry about going because...
And looking over my shoulder, I do work around the Easy Glass area, and there's a couple of coffee shops and restaurants and stuff. La Coretta's down there.
Y'all are ruining it for us.
Hospital.
They're ruining it for us, right?
Yep. WSET, they've reported several people are just fearing for their lives that they go out and they're looking over their shoulders. And one person said, I'm not even going to say anything because I don't want to be a target. And that's just not acceptable in our community.
I still honestly think, and I know I'm harsh on this, about the no crime tolerance, man. Put someone in that court and a judge in that court just to lay away some people that do stupid things to make everyone else realize you do something in this Lynchburg area, in this town, you're going to get punished big time. Yep. It ain't like you look at this. I look at these photos on this site, Virginia. I'm not going
I know
off
what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what site. I was laughing at the site.
Okay, good.
A funny site.
But there's the same people on this thing every week, and I'm like, how do these people keep going to jail and keep getting out? Yeah. Over and over. There's people on there with 3 and 4 pages of mugshots.
Yeah, people look on that to see if their family members in there.
Yeah. 3 or 4 pages of mugshots on this thing, and they're out roaming the streets. I see them because some of them come into my store, and I'm looking at this one guy. He's been on 4 pages. And I looked at him and said, how are you out in the street, man? He goes, what are you talking about? I said, I see your pace. You're on the mugshots every day, and you're running around the street still. Do these judges know you, like you, or how do you keep getting out? 3 or 4 pages, and they're still running around the streets.
Yeah.
Stop that. These judges need to whack your ass and tell you, here, now you're going to do some time, and if you come back the second time, it's really going to be bad on you. 3 times, your ass is done, man.
Yeah.
I'm talking 3-strike rule. 3 strikes, and you going to an island somewhere by yourself with the people who want to defund the police.
So
let y'all fight it out.
There's a couple of things to solve the violence.
I had to throw that in there. Put them on an island. Defund the police. Go ahead.
All right, so we're going to move on to one.
Man, we're at 34 minutes already.
Yeah, we got two little segments to go to, and this is Pennsylvania Pet Center. They are looking to, quote, empty the shelter ahead of the holidays, so they have reduced all of their adoption fees to $25. They are trying to get rid of all of their animals before the holidays. So if you're in Pennsylvania County, yes, and you need a dog, a cat, or another animal, that's a good place to go get one.
But do me a favor, everyone. It seems like I'm always a negative nanny over here. If you adopt an animal, make sure you can afford to do it and treat the animal right, man. Don't go get a pet if you know in your heart you're already struggling. And I'm not saying anything bad, but don't take this pet home and mistreat this pet, because that's one thing that drives me bonkers, is someone to mistreat animals.
Yeah, if you want to push a trigger on him.
Don't mess with me. And I don't even hunt for that reason. And Shawn, to tell you, I give my friends grief when they shoot deer. I tell them, I say, oh, how's it feel to take out Bambi? You know, now that I make them feel guilty, but it don't work. They still go hunt. Actually, y'all did too. Took out 2 Bambis. Well, they were bucks though. But still,
there has to be
someone's missing a dad. Control. One of these little Bambi's missing a dad now at Christmas time because of Shawn. But my point is, don't adopt an animal if you can't take care of it the right way.
I got 3 puppies. Are very expensive. So
yeah, I got 3 puppies, and you know what? I treat them like, me and Cindy treat them like babies. Man, we spoil them because we love them that much. And if anyone ever harmed my puppy, I would be in jail. I can assure you. I don't care.
John Wickham.
I would be. I would most definitely be. Tear their ass up. They mess with my puppies. That's the wrong person. But my point is, don't do it. Don't get an animal that you can't take care of and love and treat right. These people that out get these dogs and they fight them and this and that. That'd be life if I was a judge. You fighting dogs and that's what you're doing? Life. I'm sorry.
Judge Lewis.
That's right. I might try to get on there. Do you think they hire me as a judge? Probably not now. Not now. After these podcasts, they'd be like, hell no. This guy's going to put everybody in prison forever. All right, everybody. So you got anything else we got to hit on? What do you think?
Well, we did want to mention Christmas lights.
Yes. Yes.
We haven't done it yet, but every year we try to go out and ride around the area because it's a big area. The Elks Home has lights. Riverside Park has lights to drive through. The lights down at Rustburg Elementary School, there's a house there that does just a really beautiful lights display. If you go English Tavern Road and some of the subdivisions back there, there's some great light displays down there. Roanoke has one that some of my family members went to that you all may know about, but I don't know the title of it. But just get out and about in the area, spend money locally. Again, always, as we're wrapping up, thank you to all of our police, EMTs, service individuals.
We need you, we love you, and we respect you.
Military, all you guys.
I mean, these people aren't even going to be home at Christmas, man. They're fighting something. We don't even know what they're fighting.
Yep.
We believe in you. We believe in you, and we're going to back you no matter what. I do want to say one last thing, and it's positive. We all need to start sticking together, man, and let's get beyond all this craziness of division. Now's not the time. You know, they said that when people started to come together and really look out for each other and you see the good in people was when 9/11 happened. Mm-hmm. They said more and more people came out and they showed their neighbors love and their friends and family. Everyone love when we were attacked by another country. Well, we're kind of like that now in our own country in a sense, okay? Start looking out for each other, man. Yeah. And I can tell you, here's the thing about me. If you're a good person and you're doing the right thing and you're out helping people, not hurting people, I want friends like that. And that's the friends I got like Shawn. I don't have very many friends. I got a handful, but they're all, what's funny about that?
You got lots of friends.
Not really.
Acquaintances,
okay. Yeah. But these people that I'm friends with, I can truly call my friends, or someone I can call at any time of the day, and they would do anything they could for you. We need people to look out for each other and stop the fighting each other, killing each other, shooting each other. Stop the madness, man. I'm telling you, now's not the time for all that crap. This whole division thing, the race, they're pushing things on race. I'm not racist. I care about every single human being that's a good person. If you're not a good person, I don't give a crap what color you are. I'm not going to hang out with you because that's just not me. If you're a bad person, I don't care what color you are. I'm just not going to hang out with you. I hang out with good people because I believe that's that way I am. I'm a good person. I try to help people, show love and compassion and care and give. to help your neighbor, help the people that need to help. You know what I'm saying? Help others that need help. Stop all this division stuff. Yeah. And back to the police real fast. I'm not going to go on a tangent. Comply. Just please everybody. Everyone ought to have something in their car, hangs down from the mirrors that says comply. It's illegal to hang stuff out your rear mirror, though. But they'll pull you over, and then they'll see that, and they might let you go. Who knows?
Give you an opportunity to
just comply. Just comply. Do what they tell you to do. Move on with your life. If you feel like you've been wronged, do your thing. I'm not going to say what I was going to say earlier, but
be kind.
Be kind. You know, and it'll go a lot further because it'll take that feeling because I know as a police officer the way I used to get when people start just jumping on me right from get go. A lot of them I were going to let go. I was going to let go on a warning. A lot of them, especially the women that get all irate. And I was going to say, you know what? I didn't tell them. I was going to say, I was going to just give you a warning, but now I'm going to write you a ticket because you're being stupid. That happens a lot, people. Be nice. You're going to go a lot further. So everyone, please stay safe. Have fun. Treat everybody with respect and good and stop all the madness around town. Hopefully the police officers will look at these areas and get these people off the street and out of our towns and cities. We don't need them here. If they're bad people, ban them from Lynchburg. I don't know if you can do that. Could you? No. I wish you could, man. That actually would be a good law. You break the law, and if it's something real bad, you're banned. You're banned from Lynchburg. You're not allowed in Lynchburg no more. That would actually straighten it out, wouldn't it?
Maybe.
We'll work on that, everybody. All right, you got anything else, Shawn?
Everything's good.
All right. And look, if we're out in public somewhere, Shawn or myself, or a lot of times we're together, but if we're not and you see us, walk up to us, as long as it's good, and say, hey, how are you doing? And let us know who you are and throw us some stuff you want us to throw on our podcast, to put on our podcast. Be nice to us. Even if you don't agree with everything we say on the podcast, don't be mean to us. Because I can get mean quick too, man.
Yeah, our main goal is to promote Lynchburg and the surrounding area. We live in a fantastic place.
Awesome area.
People enjoy it.
Yes, and we want everyone to enjoy it and be safe. And so if you see us out in public, what I was going to get at is just come up to us and say, hey, Louis, or hey, Shawn, can you talk about this on your podcast? And we'll get your name because we've got to get it from today. Yeah. But we do want to say to you guys at IHOP this morning, thank you very much.
Thanks. You made our day.
You did, because it was a positive thing for once. Not me screaming at me in the parking lot. But no, you're very nice people, and this podcast is dedicated to you. Don't know what your names are, but we're dedicating this podcast to you. So do you know it's you? Share it, pass it on. And until next week, we'll talk to you guys later and have fun. Stay safe.
Take care.
Thanks.